Hi, Democrats. Today is Friday, July 7th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. I'm going to start today with the good news. Today is 7/7, and it coincides with it being the 77th wedding anniversary of Jimmy and Rosalind Carter. President Carter and First Lady Rosalind Carter celebrate 77 years of being married today. So I want to start out with good news. Happy anniversary. All righty, so more good news. Oklahoma City will be receiving $10 million from the Biden administration for transit planning. $10 million from the Biden administration for transit planning. I'm just telling you, President Biden and his administration are getting it done. It's one more piece of infrastructure that is happening that affects us in our state. Even though our legislators who represent us in DC are out there voting no for all of these things, here is one more example of President Biden delivering $10 million for transit planning. So expanding their bus services, making plans, route plans, all that kind of stuff. Good news for Oklahoma City. Okay, guys, I'm out of good news. Now I'm going to talk about what everybody's talking about. It's all over the socials. Several news outlets have printed stories. A whole bunch of allied organizations have sent out press releases. And it's the superintendent of public instruction. I'm sick of talking about him. I just wish he would take a couple of days to go silent, go to his office and do his job in a way that improves public instruction. So I'm going to keep hoping, and I hope you'll hope with me. But in the meantime, he's making appearances at libraries where he says things like, it's okay to talk about the Tulsa Race Massacre. But once you start talking about race, that's where I have a problem. It's the Tulsa Race Massacre. It was based on race. It's the Tulsa Race Massacre. And the superintendent of public instruction says, you can talk about it, just don't mention race. I don't understand what is that training? What are you going to say? There was a conflict in Tulsa where they wiped out 40 blocks. Lots of people lost their homes, property, and lives. There was bombs. The Ku Klux Klan was involved. How do you talk about it in a meaningful way if you take the context out of it? As a former educator, you would think that he would understand that. I kind of think that he does. I think that he has a cynical approach to his job in that he's going to say whatever divisive, inflammatory, nonsensical thing that he can say so that we have to keep talking about him. And so I'm not only going to talk about the divisive, nonsensical, rhetorical nonsense that he spews. Every time I mention him, I'm going to mention that his title is Superintendent of Public Instruction, and he's not doing his job. Every time I mention him, I'm going to make sure that I mention he's not doing his job. I'm going to make sure that I mention that several audits, reports, reviews have shown that he was derelict in the job, and that because of him, millions of taxpayer dollars were wasted because of him. So if he's going to make me talk about him, I'm going to make sure that I get to say what I want to say, that I get to highlight what I want to highlight. And I want to highlight that he's the superintendent of public instruction who is trying to let public instruction just crumble in favor of hybrid instruction. I'm going to say that many reports, studies, audits have found that he was derelict in his duty and he wasted millions of Oklahoma taxpayer dollars. That's what I'm going to say. If I have to talk about him, I'm going to tell the story that I want to tell. So that's enough about him. The jobs report came out today, and there were 209,000 jobs created in the last month. It's little bit less than what they were anticipating, but it's 209,000 jobs were created in the last month. And unemployment is still right around 3.7%, which is on trend, the lowest unemployment that our country has had in 50 years. Once again, President Biden is delivering. Since he's been president, 13.2 million jobs have been created. 13.2 million jobs have been created. Unemployment has been less than 4% for 17 months. That's sustainable. It's not a blip. It's sustainable. And the national inflation rate has dropped steadily for the last 11 months. The Biden administration is delivering for regular folks. They are building our economy from the middle out and the bottom up. No more of this nonsensical trickle down where it never makes it down to regular folks. Democrats deliver. And that's why I'm so proud to be on this team. That's why I get to say it proudly, because I know I'm on the right side. So it's Friday. It's 4:30. I want to say happy anniversary to the Carters and have a great weekend to everybody who's watching. And I'll be back here Monday at 4:15.